Uh, Arrowhead. I was kidding. I was kidding. Like, I know that we were all making that joke when Pal World came out, and everybody was like, Pokemon is basically Obadiah Stane, pointing to the one scientist like, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps, in regards to what Pal World was able to do, strangely enough, for that genre. But news just came out, a news article just came out that I really don't think is getting as much attention as it should. And it's this right here. Helldivers 2 was built on an obscure Swedish engine discontinued in 2018. Our crazy engineers had to do everything with no support. You've heard of Unreal Engine and Unity, two engine juggernauts that power most of Steam library, but you've probably never heard of Bit. I want to call it Bit Squid, but it might be Bit Squid. It was an obscure game engine used in a handful of notable Swedish indies of the early 2010s. In 2014, Autodesk bought BitSquid, renamed it Autodesk Stingray, then discontinued it in 2018. One of the last games released using Stingray was Fat Shark's Warhammer 40k Dark Tide in 2022. Jesus. The newest Stingray game is Helldivers 2. Responding to an article on game development blog 80 Level, Arrowhead Game Studio CEO Johan I'm not gonna butcher your last name, bro. CEO Johan confirmed that their smash hit PlayStation published co-op shooter is running on Abandonware. So, hold on. So, for those of you who do not know, if you were to build something in Unreal, or if you were to build something in Unity, or if you were to build something in, let's say, the Snowdrop engine that Ubisoft uses, right? You have to pay them a portion of whatever you make. Kind of like a licensing fee. Hey, you're using our engine, you're using our tools. On the back end, we'll take like 5%. It's not really 5%. Unity got in trouble a while back because they tried to jack up the prices. But typically for the developers of the software you're using to create your game, you gotta give them a little bit of kickback. You gotta give them a little bit of cheddar cheese. The idea that it's abandonware that this game is essentially running on is insane to me, because the question that needs to be asked is, do you owe anything? Like, if a studio releases this software and then they abandon it, and then a couple years later you come along and you create something using that software, even though you might have purchased a license forever ago, but they're no longer making updates for it, do you owe them a piece of the cheese? I don't feel as though you do. I don't think that Arrowhead owes, what was the name of the company? The name of the company was the Autodesk. Do they owe Autodesk anything? I don't think that they do. Does it say project was discontinued? Our crazy engineers done everything by themselves? One might reasonably think that if Helldivers was still early on in development when Autodesk hung the close on forever on Stingray, a good option would have been to start over on a different engine, but it's not that simple. Stingray isn't just Helldivers 2 engine. It's the engine Air has used in most of its games over its 16-year history. Oh, that's crazy. So you're telling me that this engine is the exact same engine that the original Helldivers ran on? How, Sway? How? That was a top down shooter. It is insane to me to think that this game is running on the exact same engine that that game ran on. That is the equivalent of somebody telling you that Halo Spartan Assault runs on the exact same engine that Halo Infinite does. Like that's crazy. Sure, it's possible. 8 year span between, well, I'm talking about Halo Spartan Assault and Halo Infinite. Between both of those games essentially coming out, there are new tools that can be created for that engine. But putting that into thought is insane. It is insane, the level of upgrade, the level of detail that is basically on this game. Just how big and the crazy amount of variety of maps that we have, different planetary environments. I just started playing on the map that's basically Tatooine. the one with the red sands and the red deserts. Then you jump into another map that is basically all jungle. Then you jump into another map that's like beachfront property. Then you jump into another map and it's all snow and ice. And then you jump into another map and it's all hilly rocks. You're basically like in the mountains somewhere. It's crazy to think, and the game looks fantastic in my opinion. I think the maps look super super good, but it's crazy to think that everything for this game is running on the exact same engine that the original game did. Then again, when you actually sit back and you think about it, the way in which the enemies move, that transfers over really well. It transfers over really well to how they would move in a top-down shooter game. The exact same type of instincts that they would have to basically go around and flank an enemy or attack in a certain way or charge down a certain lane or move in a certain way. Fucking great. Hats off to them. Their engineering department has been absolutely fantastic with not only working on this engine that's basically abandonware, but also knocking out all of the bugs consistently, like every single 2 days. It's like every 2 days there's a new update that comes out that fixes a bunch of the shit that people that have basically had issues with. And that is good. That is how you create loyalty to your brand. I can definitely see Helldivers, if it continues on this momentum, really being the next big franchise game where you just have like rabid fans that are out there cosplaying, kind of like how Destiny 1 kind of created those rabid fans. I feel as though Helldivers will be the next one that creates those rabid fans as well that want everything from that universe. We want the books, we want the games, we want the anime, we want the spin-off excerpts explaining certain details of the universe and certain stories here and there where we're all 100% here for it. But yeah, no, 6 years after its obsolescence, Arrowhead and Fat Shark are still holding a torch for the defunct engine and supporting its founders. Oh, so they're also supporting him. The two studios were early investors in their next engine project, Our Machinery. Oddly, a year into public release of their machinery engine in 2022, suddenly ceased development of the engine, insisted that all users wipe it off their hard drives. Oh, damn. Well, guess what? Maybe in like another 4 years, this engine that they created on the side, maybe that engine will become the next thing that they're going to be using for like Helldivers 3. But that's super fucking crazy. That is insane. I love stories like this. And I keep saying this over and over again, but I really do wish the Helldivers developers all the success. The way in which they've approached this game is absolutely fucking fantastic. Um, there is no complaints from me. My experience on this game has been great. Uh, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This was the experience that I feel as though a lot of people who wanted just a dumb, fun game that they can play with their friends and just have a ton of laughs, that needed to exist now, because we were getting tired of the $70, $100 bundle grift. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Comment down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.